All right, guys, welcome back. We are on chapter 5, lesson 7, last lesson of the chapter. Woo! All right, so today we're going to learn how to graph ordered pairs and graph reflections on the coordinate plane, just similar to what we did on lesson 6, a little different this time. So now we're going to look at example 1. So example 1 is graph the point M at negative 3, 5. So first we're going to move on the X, and then we're going to move on the Y. So first move X, all right, start your origin, move negative 3 on the X, all right, and then we're going to go up to positive 5 on the Y, and that will be our letter, all right, our letter M. One thing that I will say is that you do not need to draw this line going up and down. You can actually just, if you know that you can go over and then up and then draw the line, that's cool. But if you don't want to, you don't have to, okay? So always start the origin, X, and then Y. All right, if we look at number 2, example 2, which is also on page 404, we are going to graph point N, which is located at negative 2.5 and negative 3.5. Now, these have halves, and as you can see over here, there are no halves. So we are going to have to guesstimate a little bit, but since it's a half, it should be right in the middle of everything. So I'm going to first start on my x-axis, okay? So I'm going to start the origin. I'm going to go x, so I'm going to go to negative 2, which is going to give me about right there. And then I'm going to do negative 3.5, which will get me about right there. So that means that my point will be right about there. All right. So since big thing, okay, right now, when there is a half, you should not be on a line. Okay. This is if it is on the line, that means it is perfectly going to be negative 3, 3. But that's not the case. Okay, since this is a half, that means I should have it right in the middle. I should not have it on any lines whatsoever. So make sure that when you guys are doing these, you are not putting them on the line if there is a half. Now, if there is a whole number, put them on the line. Do that. All right. All right, now we have example 3, which is on page 405. We're going to graph A, and then we're going to cross its reflection. Okay, so we are going to first graph 2, negative 4. So we're going to go 2, all right, so there's my 2 for my x, and then negative 4, which will give me right there. All right, so that is my letter A. Now we want to flip it across the x-axis. All right, you are going to only change the y. Okay, so when we are flipping across the x-axis, we are going to flip just the y to the opposite, okay? All right, so that means that our 2 is going to stay the same, so then our opposite, our reflection, is going to be 2, comma 4, okay, if we're flipping it across. Another way you can do this is you can count how many lines there are, so that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So since it took 4 dots to get to that line, it should take us 4 dots to get to where our end is. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. All right, so if you do not know to change which one, count how many lines or squares there are to get there, all right? If we look at example 3, we are going to graph B, which is negative 1.5, comma 3, and then we're going to graph its reflection across the y-axis. So when we're doing the y-axis, we are changing the x, okay? So first, let's graph our negative 5.5, and then 3, all right? So this is going to be 1. This is a half, all right? So that's where half is. And then I have my 3, which is going to be right here. So that means that it is going to, my dot's going to be right there. All right, now I wasn't really paying attention that it was negative, so I'm going to draw my little squiggle back over. All right, so now we need to have a reflection across the y-axis. So that means that we're going the opposite direction. We're going the other side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my x, Okay, so since it's a positive, I'm going to change, or sorry, it's a negative, I'm going to change it to a positive, which means that it's going to be on this side. Oh, that's not a half, right here. And I'm going to put it right up there. All right, and that will be my B reflection. All right, so whatever it is on the one side, that is how far it has to be on the other side. Okay, now here we go with the tricky one. I think it's tricky. All right, so Mr. Martin is using a coordinate plane to design a logo. He graphs the points at 2, 4, and 2, -2. He reflects 2, -2 across the y-axis and then reflects a new point across the x-axis. What figure is Mr. Martin using for his logo? All right, so we are going to, let's first get this all graphed out. So our points, we have 2, 4. So I have 2 and then 4. All right. And then 2 and then -2. All right. And then he reflects -2, -2 across the y-axis. So that means that I'm going this way. All right. Which that means that if I'm going across the y-axis, I'm going to change the x, which since it was a +2, it will now be a -2, which means that our new coordinate is going to be -2, -2. All right. And then again, it says that he then reflects that across the x-axis. So now we're taking this dot and now we're flipping it to this one. All right. So now -2 will stay the same because when we're flipping it across the x-axis, is that right? Yes. When we're flipping it across the x-axis, the y is going to change. So we are going to flip this and we are going to make it from a -2, we're going to make it into a +2, which means that is where our dot will be. And this is going to be our shape. Ooh, that was a bad line. All right, so this will be our shape. We are going to just connect our dots. I am not good at connecting the dots. Please do not yell at me because my lines are not straight. All right. All right. So this is the shape that he was using. I have no idea what that figure is called. It says in the book that it is called a trapezoid. So he made a trapezoid, and that is what he's using for his logo. So remember, when you are flipping across the x, you're changing the y. If you're flipping across the y, you're changing the x, okay? I know it might be a little confusing. I hope that I can help you with any possible way. Let me know if you need help with anything. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos and to see more of my videos, subscribe to my channel. Punch that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. We will be having a test soon, and I will be giving out the review soon. And so if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, have a good day.